Well, thanks for having me here today. It's been 2 decades in search. It's my first time making it to Media Post. I'm very excited to be here. Still morning, good morning. We don't have much time to waste. There's a lot to cover when it comes to the how-tos and doing search across multiple platforms. Before we dive in though, let me start by asking you a question. Why are you all here? Okay, I'm not putting anyone on the spot. I've been asking this question since last night, since I got here. It's pretty obvious. Most of us are here to knowledge share, learn from one another, find something inspirational. Not something that's easy to ask ChatGPT about. Ashley, what did you say? It's grounded in profound comprehension, right? That's grounded in profound comprehension, that was it. It's not something that's easy to search for on Google either. And that is great news. It's great news for job security right now. My take on it is, as long as we keep asking meaningful questions, and as long as we just keep asking questions in general, brands are gonna need strategists in this room to make sure that products, services, whatever meaningful information we're putting out there finds the right audience. There's a ton of content out there. It's an ocean of content. So to be found in an ocean of content, you really do need navigators. I recently discovered that as adults, we ask about 20 to 30 questions per day. And if you have children, you know it's a lot more. It's actually times 10. So they ask 350 questions every single day. Not surprising. It is what we're programmed to do as humans. It's in our nature. So that is why when we talk about search today, I want to echo the message, Nobles, you started us on. It's really so much more than a channel. It's a behavior. Right? We're talking about consumer behavior really standing out across multiple touch points, making sure that we're visible, not just on one channel, but across multiple channels. Now, for this presentation, Lisa, you asked me to put together as many case studies, examples, really tactical how-tos on how to do this. Case in point, I did get distracted a little bit this weekend putting together my slides. I was watching my favorite sailing vlogger on YouTube. She was wearing the cutest pair of sunglasses. So I had to pause that video. I took out my phone, I took a picture of those sunglasses, and I used that picture to search on Google. It mostly gave me Pinterest search results back, which I don't really use Pinterest very often, don't use it that much, but I didn't mind, because it really helped me to zero in on the right version of that brand, sunglasses for my face shape. And then a few minutes later, that same day, I did buy a pair on Amazon. I bought a knockoff because I needed it on Tuesday, and I didn't want to spend $400. Sailing, vlogging is a lot more lucrative than being in search. But that's our reality today. That's how we search, right? We are informational digital nomads when it comes to search. We really look across multiple platforms here. We're going beyond Google. We're looking on commerce, retail.com, the Amazon.com. We're looking on social, video, and whatnot. We're using multiple formats to search. It could be an image. I used an image. It could be a video. My kids get a lot of information through gaming, actually, Nobles. They find a lot of information about brands through those gaming experiences. And finally, this middle one over here, if we are searching with AI-first types of search engines, we expect a very personalized experience. Whether it's a direct response or I'm looking for multiple shopping results, it better be personalized if it's AI, and we're trying that out. So the expectation there is really, really high. So what we're gonna do today is just a quick blitz of case studies, examples, for how, as search strategists, we are evolving our tactics beyond Google, beyond that one search box, and beyond text. Sounds good? All right, so the first one is a search summit, search and performance summit. I'm guessing most of you here in the room have either designed a search campaign in some capacity, you're in the middle of implementing a search campaign, overseeing it. So do me a favor. On this next slide, take a look at all the channels in this pie chart from bar chart from eMarketer. How many of these platforms, search platforms, are currently in your SEO, SEM search strategy today? How many of them are accounted for by design when you're actively running SEM, SEO on these platforms? And then how many of these search platforms you're just using for data? Data that would inform then your approach to SEO, SEM on those other channels. I used to love saying, every conversation, I would say, Google's the biggest focus group in the world. It gives us so much information about who people are, how they're searching, their behavior. Well, look how much bigger this focus group just got. We have search data, and we're able to get that search data about their behavior, who they are, where they are, what they're asking for, their preferences. So either direct APIs from these platforms or through aggregators, third-party aggregators that work through those APIs. But one way or another, we're able to get that data so we can answer questions like this. Now, we've all heard, we all know, we're in the era of cookie deprecation. Firefox, Safari, Chrome, it will happen eventually. Third-party data is looking pretty good right about now. And answering these types of questions about our consumer base with first-party data is effective but very costly, very costly. So aggregating search data across multiple social search, commerce search, and the grandfather search engines, right, your Googles and Bangs, it's incredibly efficient at informing different marketing activations, campaigns, different efforts. I'll give you a couple of examples of what that looks like. This first one, you guys have probably seen this in the trades. It made a big splash a while back ago, won a ton of awards. We did a big activation with GIF across pretty much every digital and non-digital marketing channel, GIF versus GIF. The pronunciation debate itself, that's not news. That's old, right? Like, I still don't know. Is it GIF or is it GIF when it comes to the image? I say GIF. I get corrected every single time. But what happened was we picked up a spike on Reddit, on TikTok, other social channels in heightened interest around this age-old debate, GIF versus GIF. And it was significant enough for us to recommend to the brand to really action on it and turn this into a multi-channel campaign, and they did. They did every form of paid, owned, earned activation, out of home, PR, news, even got its own product label. Very cute. A really nice, impactful outcome for their sales. They were happy with the brand awareness all the way down to the bottom of the funnel. Now, for the audience reach, this one's interesting for the travel industry. We have a cruise client, cruise ship client, as well as some other travel brands that really capitalized on the types of questions that were being asked immediately after COVID. COVID was done, people were traveling again. There was a huge spike in search interest around LGBTQ travel. There was a lot of anxiety from that community for traveling to certain places, cruising to certain destinations. So as a brand, alleviating those anxieties, making sure that you are hearing your audience with services as well as the content that you're putting out there is really important. And this was very impactful in informing that media strategy, content strategy for both paid and organic activation. Brand engagement, this one's fun. Milk-Bone, they're in a very tough competitive environment. They're a small fish in a big pond with competing against companies that have deep pockets, spend a lot on paid search. They have to be laser focused with smaller budgets on what they can do with the paid search dollars that they have, with organic activations. They can create content for every single trend that's out there. And I know they're a bit more D2C retail, but actually this is also a great tactic for B2B there as well. Really looking at search to inform brand engagement when you need to be laser focused. And in this case, we were looking at what would sell those bundles during the holiday season, birthday, occasion-related types of product bundles, and horoscopes. Astrology popped up for dogs. There was a lot of conversation, a lot of TikTok, social trends related to that. It was a fun new thing that really took off with some of the influencers in social search. We capitalized on it to sell more of those dog treat bundles around dog birthdays each month. And then my favorite one actually has to do with using search for that multicultural awareness around your brand to make sure that you are reaching consumers at those cultural, regional levels as well. So this one's interesting. It's a tomato sauce brand that has traditionally marketed itself as budget-friendly, focused on Italian-American community, just promoting that Italian-American heritage, going back to the roots type of a message. A great option for lunch or dinner when inspiration runs low, money runs low, one of those. And what we found with, just by aggregating search data across multiple platforms, monitoring their search data, is that how the product was used was actually very different. It had so many cultural and regional iterations in the products that were being used with that tomato sauce. There was the Haitian spaghetti, the Dominican spaghetti, the Colombian spaghetti, a spaghetti with fried catfish. And if anyone here is from Detroit, spaghetti with baked spaghetti. Baked spaghetti. So it was not at all a message about Italian-American heritage on a budget. It was more of a theme of connectivity, the pursuit of creativity, people taking a product as base to make something of their own. So really altered their messaging strategy, the activation strategy for both paid media and owned and earned. So most of these examples are mid-funnel engagement informing media activation. I want to show you a couple of examples for conversion rate optimization as well, because that we're seeing a lot of multi-platform trends there as well. Now for search, conversion rate optimization is kind of our bread and butter. CRO is something that is a go-to strategy to improve not just how we convert on the brand.com, how many people we push to that end experience on the product page, service page, how many people we get to click on the high value action, whatever it might be. Like in this case study, it's the buy now click. We're also working on the conversion rate, right? So that future visits can also be converting at a higher rate. So what we're seeing some of our partners, clients really focusing on right now with the multi-platform strategy is taking that success that is known. We know CRO works, and extending that to retail.com. So either Amazon.com or Walmart.com or Target.com, whatever that retail.com platform is that you're working with, Wayfair, taking that same approach and focusing on that. Now, an average successful Amazon seller, their paid to organic ratio is about 1 to 4, 1 to 3. So meaning 20 to 40% of your sales come from your paid listings, and then 60 to 80% come from your organic listings. That's a pretty big number. So optimizing that number on the organic side gives you scale. And the reason that we like to focus on the 60 to 80% is because it does two things for us. The first thing is obviously you get more sales organically. But the second piece that's interesting is that it's also improving your ROAS on the paid side. So paid search on retail.com also improves from that CRO optimization because your sales rank goes up, right? It's the same story with SEO plus SCM equals magic, right? We've all heard that, the total search, same thing on the retail.com. It's a really impactful strategy. And what's interesting there is that it's also a lot faster. So what we are optimizing now is for the Prime Day time frame. In the summer, we're going to be optimizing for the back-to-school moments, or shopping moments across those platforms. So it's a faster tactic that we're taking from brand.com to those retail.com platforms and approaching search in a very similar way, focusing on conversion optimization. All right. The second one, let's talk a little bit about AI. We started that conversation this morning in the roundtable panel discussion. AI-first search engines that we're seeing, like Perplexity, ChatGPT, for now, they're mostly organic, right? These are organic search experiences. But then you see Microsoft, Bing, they've already incorporated paid search feeds, shopping feeds, into those AI responses. Once Google SGE is out there, I mean, you can count on Google to monetize things. They're not that far behind. It's going to be there. They're going to find a way to incorporate that there as well. But what's interesting about all of those experiences is that when you use a AI-first search, it's very much driven by intent, right? It's very much reliant on recognizing your intent, whether, again, you're anticipating a direct response or you want multiple search results. Now, what does it mean to optimize for the direct response with AI-first types of experiences in search? I mean, direct response is simple, right? If I'm asking one of the AI-first search engines, is there such a thing as a dark side of the moon? There's one answer. No, Elena, there's only a far side of the moon. Citation, citation, citation. You're done. If I ask a different type of question, give me some gift ideas, a birthday gift idea for someone special. I'm looking maybe at jewelry. And I get one response, citation, 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 I'm pissed. Like, I need multiple shopping options. So with the first one, the focus there that I think we've really started to adopt a lot more is more of a using search in collaboration with PR. This is where you really got to watch your brand risks to your brand reputation, how your product, your service is showing up in direct responses via search, especially AI-first search responses. Or how are they talking about your product? What questions are they asking? Are you happy with the answers? Is the information that's out there the type of information that you want to be seeing? And this case study right here is really interesting from Uncrustables. They took a hit almost immediately once this experience started happening in knowledge panel search results, AI-first types of responses. A third-party blogger posted misinformation in response to, does Uncrustables have fructose corn syrup in their products? They said, yes, run away, it's a horrible product, they have high fructose corn syrup, which is not true. Now, because we had that integrated search monitoring across multiple channels set up, we picked this up really quick. And this is very easy to fix, very easy to address, because FAQ, structured data, most search engines recognize there is a lot of validity to the questions answered directly by the brand, right? That's what feeds Wikipedia. So that FAQ started out ranking this third-party blogger almost immediately, and the sales jumped right back up. And what's interesting is that the misinformation, once it was detected as misinformation, so clearly the algorithms across the key search platforms tagged it as misinformation, it disappeared. It was not second, it was not third, it disappeared from those search results, which was very interesting. So really monitoring how you're showing up for your products or services, the brand name itself in those direct responses is very valuable. It can take an almost immediate overnight hit to the bottom line if you're selling something and there's something very damaging to the brand out there. Now with the more of a comparison shopping types of experiences, when we expect multiple options, you're asking for something, your intent is to see what's available, you want to look around, you want to see who's providing what. Now that's a bit of a different story. Again, let's take a look at a couple of examples here. These are grandfather search engines here, Google, Bing, the current state of things, as well as the AI first experiences, the Bing AI and the Google SG experience. The one thing that you can immediately notice here is feeds, shopping feeds. Paid search shopping feed right there, organic search feeds, lots and lots of options for you to contrast and compare when you're expecting multiple options in that AI first experience. Now, feed optimization, it used to be, I feel like it used to be just, yes, it's part of our strategy. We used to just do it, right? Something that we did on the paid search side, something that we may or may not include in the organic search strategy. Now, with AI-first types of experiences, it's almost become a must. That example I had on the previous slide is from a leading tire manufacturer. It's very recent, just a few weeks old. We've inherited their feed. It was stable. It was giving them a steady stream of clicks, traffic, sales that came in from both organic, paid search feed. It was okay. It was nothing to write home about. We didn't do that many fancy things to that feed. We optimized it just like we would optimize a feed with some attributes, image optimizations, titles. Took us 2 days, a very low level of effort. Within a week, the first week, we saw a 3-digit increase, percentage increase in both traffic and sales from that feed. Now we're a couple of weeks in, it's a 4-digit percent increase in both traffic and sales, again, from those feeds, mostly the organic side of that feed. Again, because they're being used in these AI-first types of responses, they got a whole lot more traffic than they normally would. And then one more thing I want to draw your attention to with these screenshots is just how diverse the content on the screenshots is. There's so many images here. Now granted, videos pop up there as well, AI-first types of responses. They have so many different types of content. Even individual search results, like Nordstrom gets their own image carousel. That's a new shopping experience now, which brings me to the third point. We can't just optimize text. We can't just focus on designing campaigns with text in mind. You gotta design them with images, videos, audio, voice, and context, really optimized for that multi-channel experience. And one other thing I'll say here, if you're in a very mature industry, you're going against companies that invest a lot of money, again, in paid and organic placement, this is a great way to stand out. I did replicate a search journey recently in Pottery Barn. I walked in and I saw a woman taking a picture of a bookcase. It was a $4,000 bookcase. I didn't know what she was doing. She was doing the exact same thing I was doing with my sunglasses. She wanted a cheaper option on Wayfair or somewhere else. She was taking a picture and using that picture to search. So I replicated that experience, and what was interesting to me is that the comparison shopping options I got with that image through circle to search, multi-search through Google, included a lot of players that would have never made it to page 1 of Google search results on their own. They don't have the budgets to be outbidding the Pottery Barns of this world with those paid search ads. I saw smaller Etsy listings. I saw Amazon, Wayfair types of listings, local furniture producers that did a good job of understanding the attributes around these flagship key products, something that Pottery Barn would sell, matched their description to that, but also found some unique attributes that made them a great option for these AI-first types of experiences, stand out as something, oh, you're interested in this, and here's also something that's a bit more unique. So again, using the images here in this case, but also videos, the gamification in search to really stand out and play in spaces that were perhaps a little bit out of our reach before, and in very mature industries as well.
Elena, sorry, can we you are doing a roundtable after this, so maybe we can go into that a little bit more.
Perfect.
We're running a little long.
I am going to wrap it up. Obviously, we want to make sure that the content is focused and centered on the consumer journey. I included a very detailed summary here for you guys. There's going to be an infographic just highlighting some of the key takeaways from these case studies. But I'm also really excited to hear your examples, do a bit of a Q&A, and knowledge sharing on the tools you're using to extend the strategy for organic and paid search to other platforms. Let's do that roundtable.
All right, Elena, thank you so much. That was
awesome.
Really appreciate it.